So, my name is Mackenzie Minguillo. I'm a volunteer with the Opera Guild of Rochester, and I'm here today with Ben Reisinger. And he's going to tell us a little bit about his journey as a Lindemann young artist and his journey to get there and everything moving forward. So, today is March 13th, and without further ado, Ben, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
How's it going? Yeah, I grew up in Rochester, New York. Proud to say, went to Penfield, went to Nazareth College, and before that, I was doing a lot of jazz singing. Um, and I just found a voice for classical music. I did a few local competitions and stuff like that. Went to Nazareth College for 4 years, and then I went to Michigan State, go green, and went there for about 3 years. Studied as a baritone. Um, and then I got with the Detroit Opera as a resident artist for 2 years and found my voice as a tenor, believe it or not. And I auditioned for Lindemann in January of this year as a baritone. Didn't get in. So this was last January. Didn't get in. They heard a clip of me in May of me doing some tenor, like playing around with tenor rep and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, can you come back down for another audition? And they took me that summer, and I ended up covering in Grounded, the new opera by Janine Tesori, and it's kind of a whirlwind when I switched to tenor. It's pretty fun. But yeah, that's kind of my last 8 years or so of my life. Yeah.
Wow. That's a really interesting journey. I wasn't expecting that. That's really incredible. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. And also just congratulations in for being a part of the Lindemann Young Artist Program. And I just wanted to ask you if you could share your journey about being from Rochester to joining the Lindemann Young Artist Program and how all those things that you mentioned just set you up for that, if that
Yeah,
makes.
for sure. I definitely had a great um, high school music experience. We had a jazz choir. I played bass, played upright bass too. Um, and I actually was did private lessons with Jeff Campbell on bass, who's actually at Eastman, and he was
Yeah.
one of my neighbors, which was hilarious. I grew up with his family as well. But I had that jazz background. I played bass. I sang in the jazz choir, and that kind of built up my musical foundation a bunch as like a youngster. But yeah, I stuck around. I went to Nazareth because scholarship money was pretty great, so I had to stick around there. But yeah, Rochester really has just such a great music community. I think I still every time I go back, to the Jazz Fest in the summer, I'm like, wow, this is so. I think it's just so special out there.
That's really nice to hear. I like that jazz was like the root for all of these wonderful things to happen for you. And I was
I
wondering,
love it.
do you still sing jazz? Do you still hope to sing any
Yeah,
jazz?
I do. I've been asked more and more, like little donor gigs or little donor events. Like, hey, can you do some jazz? Or I don't
Mm-hmm.
try to do it sometimes. It's fun.
That's great. I love to hear that, really. And I was wondering, were there any pivotal moments or performances in Rochester that you remember that confirmed opera was your calling in a way?
I confirmed opera was my calling.
Yes. Or
I can't. It wouldn't have been anything operatic, I don't think. Um, I do remember one of my biggest memories was hearing Gregory Porter at the Jazz Fest before he was winning all the awards and stuff. And is it one of those like $10 events, and now his events are like $200. I don't know. That just sticks out to me. Um, One of my best Rochester, performances. But operatically, I went to high school with Matthew
Mhm.
Swenson, who went to Eastman, and his parents kind of give me some encouragement to kind of start singing a little bit. I remember that as a youngster. but yeah, that was he was kind of like my introduction into like, oh, maybe I could sing opera, because I hadn't really heard of opera at all. Um, and we still keep in touch, which is great. So
Oh, yeah. And
yeah,
yeah, there's such a big opera community at in Rochester.
for
And
sure.
yeah, to have someone like Matthew Swenson as seeming to be a role model or um
Yeah,
so
yeah. He
yeah.
was he was 3 years older than me. I was a freshman. He was a senior.
Hmm.
And I just remember he's like, yeah, I mean, opera could be great for you. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, really? Okay.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay,
okay,
maybe.
maybe. Wow. And yeah, just seeing where you are now, that's really incredible. So
Thanks.
yeah, absolutely. So I was just wondering more about your experience in the Lindy program. What excites you most about being a part of such a prestigious program?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's really unlike any other program. We get to work with like the best in the business. We get to, just be around the best in the business too, singer wise, coaches, language people. I mean, there's really nothing like it. It's it's definitely changed my trajectory as an artist, just like being around and like learning because you have to learn quickly.
Mhm.
And, the people at that level are doing it, in the best way or their way, in the unique way.
Hmm.
Um, and it's just really cool to, grow as an artist around people that are already such talented artists.
Yeah. Yeah, well said. I think this
Thanks.
falls into another question is, do you have any advice for people that are eager to join this program if they were given the chance? What criteria or characteristics do these people have to have?
Yeah, I mean, along with having like a voice, um, it's more about how you deliver yourself as a person, as an artist, deliver the text, deliver the story. That's what I've really come to learn about
Mhm.
this program that really brings out me in my things that I sing. It's not about having the loudest, biggest, best voice in the world. It's about being a real artist, I believe. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think that's the uniqueness that they try to bring out of us is the best part of it all.
yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
knowing what you bring to the table and feeling really confident about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it sounds really cliche, but I mean, you're not going to sound like anyone else. So
Yeah.
uh, being authentic is even more important these days.
Yeah, absolutely. And just letting go of that idea of comparing yourself to one another, it's just focusing on individuality and
Yeah.
expressing that. Yeah.
Even if you sing the same exact repertoire, you're different.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You'll get very different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said. And also just curious, what's a typical day like in the program? If you could.
Yeah. So, like typical day, I usually meet with a few of the few of the same coaches every week. Um, and then we have a lot of guest coaches or conductors that come in to hear us, which is an opportunity that just is unrivaled, I think. And then like every other week, we get some company like today I'm auditioning for San Francisco just through the program. They're just in town from um, just in town. So and they can hear us. So it's kind of like I'll do probably like two coachings a day. We do like a movement, we do like dance, we do language study, um, and then we have the opportunity to perform.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm covering in Fidelio right now. And then, yeah, I can do some auditions as well, which is great.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm definitely not aware of the courses that they have you taking, like dance, for example. That just surprised me.
Yeah, we took flamenco dancing a few months ago, like a crash course. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really awesome. Um, yeah. Wow, I like to know that. That's really cool.
Yeah. Opera singers don't just sing anymore,
Yeah,
So
they got to do
it's good.
everything. Yeah.
exactly.
Um, and oh, I wanted to know who are some of your greatest musical influences or mentors and how have they shaped your artistry?
Yeah. I mean, I listen to a lot of old singers. Um, and I've really started to listen to like I love Franco Corelli. I love Pavarotti. Um, but like I still, I love the Roberto Alagna. I
Mhm.
think he's just amazing. Um, but yeah, my teacher really helped me through getting through the transition to tenor. He's been a real inspiration to me. His name's Richard Cox. He's going with San Francisco Conservatory next year to run to do voiceover there. So,
Wow.
but yeah, um, but yeah, he's been a real key player in everything I'm doing, which is I'm grateful to that as well.
Always grateful for the teachers. They are the best mentors that we,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, people
And
behind the scenes. I love. It's like yeah, it's they're the most important.
Mhm. And what's one piece of advice you've received during your career that has always stuck with you?
Ooh, one piece of advice.
It could be multiple. That's okay.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I think best piece of advice would probably be kind of like what I was talking about earlier. An old teacher of mine said, "You're never going to sing like anyone else, so why are you trying?" And I feel like that really stuck with me. You know, to try to not imitate because in opera you can imitate a lot. You hear people that are similar to your voice, and you kind of feel like you need to do that because they had a career, but it's just not like that. So I feel like that was a big thing of advice I took.
Yeah. That I resonate with that. I'm sure any singers that uh read this or watch this, they can definitely understand. So not alone, Ben.
I love it. I love it.
And wondering what is it like to collaborate with other artists in the Lindy program? Um, have you made friends? Do they challenge you in good ways? Things like that.
Yeah, we have a great group this year, and it's always fun meeting people like that. You'll see in the business. A lot of singers in the program are so special and so talented. You just know that you'll work with them again. So it's really great to like start to build those friendships that will probably last a long time. Especially when you have as much exposure, like being in the Lindemann program, that they're all going to have a career. So it's really cool to hopefully in the future like have that connection where we're singing somewhere else in some foreign country, and we can know each other, and it makes things easier.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, yeah.
That definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, and also just circling back to your connection to Rochester, how would you encourage young artists from smaller cities like Rochester to pursue dreams in opera? I know that's kind of a big question.
Yeah, I'm trying to it's true though. I mean, um I just think networking is so underrated. Um Especially in opera is not a small field, but it's not a big field. Um or any sort of music is just finding the person or the connection that can really serve you. Whether that's your teacher, whether that's the college you go to, whether that's but finding a network to branch out of, because a lot of times you can get stuck with one person telling you one thing. But if you
Mhm.
can find some sort of network, and a lot of times it's through college or, through just meeting people at, different events and stuff, but really learning how to network is the biggest factor in any sort of entertainment,
Mhm.
whether that's opera, any sort of entertainment, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, that's great advice. Definitely important to branch out of a smaller city because then
Yeah.
you're going to get more exposure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And just, I mean, doing competitions, and I know it's an investment sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, but I did one competition. I ended up winning, thankfully, but um, it wasn't a big amount of money, and I had to spend on the flight. But there was someone there that heard me and gave me a role, that paid,
Yeah.
So, and that was earlier on,
Hmm.
so take the investment sometimes and do that competition or that small audition. I mean, not all the time because it gets expensive, but if there's the right people in the room that you think would appreciate you, um, take the time and travel for the weekend.
Hmm. Yeah. Also, you just never know. You never know who's listening. You never know who like
Yeah,
really.
especially with cameras and everything around, people recording things. They might send it to their friend who's not in the room, or
Mhm.
some casting person that's not in the room. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And this will lead into another question that I'm curious about is how do you feel about younger artists sharing their progress, sharing whatever it is that they're working on social media?
That's tricky. I believe um, we're pushed to do that sometimes because we feel like we need to like people ask us, oh, what do you do in a normal day, right? And you feel like, oh, well, this is what I've been working on. Let me show you online. And progress is tough because progress is tough to show because a lot of people have the first impression, and it's very hard to beat the first impression. Um, Sharing with close friends, great. Like maybe in a close friends story or a close friends post on Instagram or something like that. That's great. I think if you want to create like some kind of space like that, but posting like on YouTube, I'm very. I just had even like a month ago. I felt like I finally made an okay recording to like post. You know, um,
Mhm.
that's just me. Other people think, hey, I'm going to show this progress and I'm really happy about the progress, and they like to post. All power to them.
Yeah.
But for me, if you're going to have people that like your teachers or your teachers' friends or the colleagues and all that seeing that as well, it can be tough to shake the first impression.
Mhm. That's good advice and very well said because it's definitely tricky territory to cover, especially if, at the same time you want to have that exposure and expand that more. But at the
Exactly.
same time, the first impression is everything. And if, yeah, it all comes down to just how sound your
Yeah.
instrument is. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And moving on to another question. How, and this is a bigger question as well. How do you hope to contribute to the future of opera as an art form?
Yeah. I mean, it's something I think about a lot. It's changing quite a bit. And I'm glad I'm at this stage in my career to really see the changes going on. There's no more stand and sing anymore. That's gone. There's some of it, believe me, there's some. Um, but just being more versatile. Um, and I hope I can bring my versatility to the art form in terms of my style, my energy, all that sort of thing. I think, and I'm very lucky to be a tenor as well because I get a lot more opportunities just because there's less tenors, um, and it's something we talk about too. So I have to be on my game and just be more versatile and not just be the tenor that stands there and has no expression and just says the notes and the words and.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping to bring my uniqueness to the field.
Yeah, and from what I hear, just something that's very meaningful and that has intention and uh other than just you know, parking and barking,
Park, exactly,
and
exactly.
just singing words that are endear to you. So that really speaks volumes. So that's really nice to know.
Thank
And
you, thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Now moving on to the last questions, just more
Yeah,
fun, uh,
cool.
lighthearted. What's your favorite opera to watch or perform, or both, and why?
Oh man. Oh, I love Tosca. I think Tosca is the best to watch. I saw Bryn Terfel and Sandra Radonowski do it, and Brian Jade. It was just fantastic. Um, and it's Bryn's last Met run, and it
Mhm.
was just really special.
Wow.
But yeah, I love Tosca, um, and I love singing Bohème.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, yeah, Bohème. I think Rigoletto's great. I love singing Rigoletto. Love singing the Duke. Um, but yeah, I just sang the Duke parts of the Duke with Met Orchestra for a workshop, which was a blast with Yannick. So that was really fun. Did
That
that in
sounds,
January. It was a blast. Yeah. So, but yeah.
wow, great answers. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and this is this one is a little less related to music, but I guess when you're not singing, what else do you enjoy doing to unwind or stay inspired?
Yeah, I like to play golf. I have a big 80-pound lab that I like to take on walks.
Oh,
Um, yep, he's a big boo boo bear over there, and I don't know. That's pretty much it. I golf. I take walks. I try to hit the gym a couple days a week just to stay active. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of boring these days. I just kind of work, which is
wow.
good.
I mean, boring. I feel like that's not the word to describe.
No,
Definitely very busy, and
very
then
busy.
really great ways to stay inspired, to just chill out when you need to.
Yeah,
And it's okay to to just be boring sometimes, even for just a few hours, and then you go back and go back into the chaos. So
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. It's fun chaos. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Yeah. Well, you're doing really incredible things, Ben.
Thank
And
you.
we're just so happy that we were able to get a hold of you. And thank you so much for taking time to meet with me and answer some of these questions. And it was a pleasure getting to know you.
Thank
So
you for having me. This was a blast. Thank you.
yeah. Do you have any questions for us? Uh,
No, I guess where to find you guys on are you on Instagram or
mhm.
Facebook?
Yeah,
Okay,
we're on Instagram. We should be also on Facebook, but if you can't find us, you can always look us up on Google. We have our website.
great,
And yeah, if you ever want to contact us, just feel free and I'll
great,
tell. Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck with your auditions
Thank
and
you.
and
Thank you.
everything else to come this season. We're all rooting for you in Rochester.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. We'll
All
take
right.
care.
You take
Okay,
care. Bye. Bye bye.
bye.